All right. So, first question. We're just gonna go through the rapid fire round. First question: where were you born and raised?
Akron, Ohio.
Akron,
330 all
Ohio.
day.
330, baby. What was your childhood dream job?
I wanted to be a lawyer.
A lawyer. So, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, I have known Arielle for a long time, and I could definitely see her being a lawyer because she can tell you her point and prove it and talk about it and talk you under the ground. What was your college degree in?
Justice studies, which is just another name for criminal justice.
Awesome. Hidden talents.
It's more so a lost art now than a hidden talent, but I have played the piano since I was 4.
At Miller South, what what was that there?
Keyboard and vocal music, but I don't consider myself to be a singer. No. I can just harmonize a little bit. That's about it. I'm not a soloist. So
How would your friends describe you?
I'm pretty straightforward to the point, real no nonsense. Um, Definitely very ride or die. Um, I'm pretty intuitive. I would say I'm intuitive about people, their intentions, things like that.
I would agree. Uh, so let's dive into some conversation here. For those of you who don't know, there is a article in the Akron Beacon Journal that Arielle was in. If you have some time, I advise you to go ahead and take a quick read at that, look at that. I'll have that attached in the link. But then that article, you talked about your career change from customer service to a police officer. What was talk to me about that? Why did you want to make that change?
Well, customer service has always been my bread and butter. Since I started working as a teenager, I was pretty much in customer service work. The last job that I had it made. I was working from home. I just crawl out of bed, log in, and chat with people. I didn't even have to be on the phones. I would just chat with them all day. But then I kind of like woke up one day and I was just like, this is the most unfulfilling thing ever. Like, I'm talking to people about their insurance all day. I have this degree in criminal justice that I'm not doing anything with. Like, I didn't go to school and I don't have these passions to just die in the criminal justice field. So I started thinking about exactly what I wanted to do. Previously, before that, I tried to get a couple of jobs in probation and parole, but for some reason in this area, if you don't have case management experience, that's kind of difficult. So then I was looking at everything that was happening in the media in regards to police brutality and whatever else, and I was just like, you know what, maybe I need to explore this more. I started talking to a lot of different police officers. My best friend, Lauren Marsh, her father has been a deputy sheriff for over 20 years. I talked to him, and I decided that that was a move that I was going to make in regard to what I can do in my field and make a difference in my community as well. So I really literally just made the decision concrete like last year, and then I signed up for the academy, and it was head on since then.
Wow. Wow. So you are born and raised in the AK Rowdy. Talk to me about being a police officer in the community that you were born and raised in.
Well, honestly, I'm probably not going to be an Akron police officer, sadly. APD has their own academy, and even if you've been through your own academy, you have to still go through theirs, and I'm not doing that. So probably won't be serving in Akron, but probably areas, around there, maybe like Stowe or Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay.
People have applied. But it's just great. It's great to give back positively to an area you've been in your whole life. The Akron area has its ups and downs. It always has. You see a lot of negativity. You hear about a lot of negativity. It's great to be able to bring something positive to that for sure.
Absolutely.
I think that people have this mindset that Akron is small. It's really not that small. It's the fifth largest city in Ohio. And with that comes like a really linear mindset. Like we're small, so we're gonna have this small mindset about everything. And I think it would help. It would help to have other people educate people on that. Like Akron really isn't that small. You don't have to think small. You can think outside of the small box that you think you're in. Yep. So I'm excited to get out there and actually dialogue with people, about things like that.
It's funny you say that because I haven't lived in Akron for over 10 years now, but I have that conversation frequently. Like Akron is the fifth largest city in Ohio. It's actually a city. It's not, we don't have a bunch of farmland and it's actually a city. So I definitely agree with you there. So me being an administrator, an assistant principal, I think I find a lot of joy in being, an assistant principal who happens to be Black. I love that. I've talked to a lot of my students and they're like, I've never had a Black principal before. And some of them, I've never had a Black teacher before. So I love that I'm in that position because I think it's important for children to see different ethnicities in leadership, not just Black leadership, not just white leadership, but Hispanic leadership, Asian leadership. I think that's important for children to see. So talk to me about, I know because my father was a retired police officer in the Akron area. There is not a strong or a lot of women on the force, particularly women of color. Talk to me about how you feel about that, because I know you said in your academy, you're the only cadet that is Black. So talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, yeah, there were 2 other African-American cadets, but they dropped out. So I think representation matters at the end of the day. You're not going to have faith in something that doesn't look like you, something that you can't identify with. And I know that a lot of the Black community in particular have this explicit bias, about the police. But I think that implicitly, whether they know it or not, just having small interactions with people who do look like them can subconsciously change their mindset. Everybody wants to hold on to this, you're Black and you're becoming a cop, you're a traitor, whatever else is and this and that. And they're holding on to that so hard, consciously, but subconsciously, if I see you, even if I have to arrest you or I have to reprimand you or question you, if I'm treating you with respect and treating you in a way that's different than things that you've seen or things that you've heard, then that's going to deposit something good. And in the long run, that's what's going to help change people's mindsets. So I think it's very important for people to put aside their biases, and talking is good. Everything starts with a conversation. But if you're not willing to be on the front lines, then the change is not going to happen. The changes you want to see is not going to happen. So yeah, I think it's important, especially for women. Like women just don't think to be cops generally, especially Black women. So representation matters. And I think if you see more people in that role, it becomes the norm. And It's like, oh, that's something I can actually do, something I can actually achieve or whatnot. So yeah.
Absolutely. Man, you hit on a lot right there, because number one, the last thing you said is so true. Being able to see like, oh, you're in that position, I can achieve that. I can aspire to it. It becomes tangible. It becomes real when you see it. Especially kids are impressionable. So looking up and seeing, oh my gosh, there's a Black female police officer. I may want to do that. Young girls may look up and say, I want to do that. And what else you hit on is something that, especially as a Black man, this hits home. The traitor. My father was called an Uncle Tom. I have been called an Uncle Tom because I speak proper. But like you said, we have to change that mentality, because if you want to be the change, if you want change, you have to be the change. So for me, I always felt there was a deficit in education. So that's the route I went for my career. You want to be a change in law enforcement. So now you are, in law enforcement. Talk about being that change a little bit more.
I don't know. It's just, I think people are scared. I think it's more of a fear thing than and I can't do this. I honestly, I was scared too. Police academy was something I didn't think I could get through. I knew what I had a passion for. I knew what I wanted to do, but I was like, can I really do this? Like, can I really get through the academy? I had never been fit. I had never shot a gun, barely. I went to the range once. Things like that made me so fearful for going after what I wanted. And I think if people just put that fear aside, the fear of the unknown, everybody has something that they want to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're humans. We see things all the time that we wish were different. I think if we would get out of this mentality of fear and fear of failure and things like that, then it would be obviated. Just go for it. Just do it.
Yep. I agree 110%. And also with that, I think too, we as a society need to champion others. Like you said, a lot of women may not want to be cops. They may not feel they can be cops, but we don't champion that. We don't push, hey, you should go do, if you want to try this, you want to do this, go ahead and try it. We actually are, you shouldn't do that. And even myself, I've questioned female police officers before. And I've had those conversations with my dad. I've questioned that. Like, man, would I really, if I'm in a confrontation or something's going on and a female police officer shows up, am I going to be confident that they can take care of that situation? But if we don't champion it, how am I doing any justice? How am I supporting you? How am I being supportive for the cause if I'm resisting? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, let me get the other question here. I'm going to edit this part out. So with that, do you feel there's going to be pressure on you to perform? Because you are in the minority here. You're Black, you're a female, you don't have a lot of experience. Do you feel the pressure?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be pressure from both sides. Whatever agency I end up with, they're going to expect me to be an officer. When you're on the job, you can't really have a lot of personal opinions. You have to follow agency standards and you have to follow the law, and that's just it. Whereas community is going to be like, well, you're supposed to be on our side. You're Black and you're a female, but I don't feel like you have to pick a side. I feel like you can do both. I feel like I can serve my community and help implement some of the changes that everyone wants to see and still be a Black woman and be for my people. I can do both. Mm-hmm. And I think once again, people need to see people that don't have that mindset. Mm-hmm. To them, everyone has their mindset. You have to pick a side. You got to be one or the other, either you for us or against us. And I think seeing more of those examples where, hey, I'm actually actively picking both, I think that'll help change that mindset.
Absolutely. That's strong. Okay, so let's change up really, really quick. If you could go back and tell yourself 3 things, your younger self, what would you tell her?
Don't be so quick to grow up. I was just so quick to be grown and ain't even all that fun. Absorb all you can, gain as much knowledge as you can, figure out who you are, and just take it slow. I definitely cherish my parents a lot more. If I had known I would lose my mom at 24, I definitely would have approached that relationship a lot differently. And also, just don't be afraid to be alone. I was kind of a loner. I wasn't the popular kid. I thought it was something wrong with me because of that, but actually that's what I feel makes me a leader. I'm not a leader because people necessarily follow me, but because I don't have to be a part of a crowd. I don't have to share a majority mindset or do something that everybody else is out here doing. So there's nothing wrong with that, and that's absolutely okay.
Absolutely. Hey, I just wanted to tell you thank you. I respect you. I love what you're doing. I appreciate you, and I champion you for everything you're doing. And you ever need anything, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Same, sir. Definitely appreciate you being out here for our youth. I feel like that's where it starts. Our youth are our future, and if their mindsets are together, then we got some hope. So I definitely appreciate what you're doing. And again, if you need me for anything, hit me up.
Absolutely, I will do. Promise you that.